some things you just don't tell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, growing
you don't talk
up
about.
in the church, you don't talk about that your father molested you. You don't talk about that all of the secrets and the different children and all these things that is going on in the church. You know, abuse, child abuse, sexual abuse, all of these things are going on in the church.
In the church.
Yes.
And you've experienced
it. I've experienced it from a young child, from 12 years old, from my own pastor father.
Hey there, I'm Ari, your petite but powerful Kingdom teaching professor and entrepreneur. I bring the sass, the laughs, and the serious, let's get real and heal moments without any filters. Now meet my mom, Pastor Dee, the #1 dunamis woman leading our Healing for My Soul movement. As a Kingdom teaching pastor and life coach, she is unapologetically real, raw, and radical, but she's our rock and the voice of wisdom that we all need. And then there's Allison, fierce yet tender, and the voice for many single mothers. She's the silent heartbeat of our family and will be the first to tell you, yeah, life with these two can be crazy, but I got their back and we're in this together. As a dynamic trio, we spearhead the Healing for My Soul movement, sharing the miraculous healing power of God through our journey, truths, and a little humor as we guide women to pursue healing as a lifestyle so they may experience freedom within their life and legacy.
Well, here we are for another episode of this particular season where we are really talking about healing that is not only needed, but it's a necessity for the Black church. We as a people are powerful beyond measure. God made us specifically in his image and in his likeness as male and female. So we got some stuff that we got to deal with, but we're going to talk about it today. So I double dare you to like, comment, and subscribe as we go along. Tell somebody to come on through, subscribe to this Healing for My Soul podcast because it's going to go down on today. I have a woman with me who is been in the church all her life, y'all. She looked like she's 16 years old. But if I really told you her age, it would be a different story. So I'm going to let that be for her. But at the end of the day, she grew up in it, she been in it, and she's seen a whole lot of the S.H.I.T. in the church. And if anybody have heard me say shit, it means secrets hidden in torment. I firmly believe this is how the enemy thrives because there's so much that we bring into the church that are secrets that they say don't talk about, but actually is taking place and is happening and it's exuding and is manifesting that the miraculous power will not manifest because at the end of the day, Satan has dunamis and we have dunamis. So we got to be real, you all. We got to get this stuff out. We got to expose it so we can prosper and be in peace within ourselves. So help me welcome to this Healing for My Soul podcast for her very first time, but it's not the last, I guarantee you, Pastor B. Gail Whitfield. How are you?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm wonderful. I should have introduced you, Mrs. Stanley Whitfield.
She's good too.
She's good too. I know that's right. Mama, grandmama, all of that. Does that
all
make
of
sense?
her is good.
All of her is good. Thank you for joining me here on this Healing for My Soul podcast. You've been around for a long time, a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I've been here since 2020.
Since 2020. Now, before we start getting into the S.H.I.T. that is in the church or whatever, I just want to let you know in front of everybody that when I first heard your name on our Zoom call, and it was Pastor Gail, I basically passed out because too many pastors don't think that they need healing. And so I know I have women all across the globe, but for a leader who has established a church, does that make sense? Have it passed down as legacy. Yeah. And we're going to get into that a little bit more. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You have seen a lot. So even the stuff that you've seen, the S.H.I.T. you've seen in the church, it had caused you to come forth for your own healing as a woman.
Absolutely.
Elaborate on that a little bit before we get into the nuts and bolts of this particular episode.
Well, when I came in 2020, I was literally just broken down. Mm-hmm. And I was ready to shut down the church. Mm-hmm. And I got a call to be a part of a healing challenge, conquering the battlefields of your mind. Mm-hmm. And I prayed that morning, God, if you want me to keep doing this, dealing with this S.H.I.T., then I need an answer. Mm-hmm, and that was the answer. Mm-hmm. And I knew that deep in me, I've been pushing things down. I've been doing all of that to kind of stay where God needed me to be. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But no, I'm breaking free.
You're breaking free.
Yeah, I got to break the religion.
Yeah. Let's not talk about it looking out the window. Let's really talk about it looking in the mirror. Pastor to pastor, woman to woman, leader to leader. We could go on with a whole lot of things, wife to wife, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, let's look in the mirror, because I believe we as leaders, mothers, pastors, whomever we position ourselves to be at that time, we wanting someone else to do something that we got to do ourselves.
Absolutely.
And that's a big pill to swallow, for you to humble yourself and say, I've been suppressing stuff.
Yes.
I've been holding things in. I've been holding these secrets hidden in torment in. Talk about some of the secrets that you've been holding in.
One, the secrets of religion being a man's world, so to speak. And as a woman, having to put that down and put on a manly persona in order to be able to fit in this thing called religion. But I always knew that it was not the way God had intended it, if you will. And just pushing down my femininity.
Oh, wow.
I had to do a hoop like that. I had to do all these things that men did, but it wasn't me.
It wasn't you.
And so it was like silence in my voice.
It wasn't your authentic self.
It wasn't me, the woman.
Yeah.
It
Because
was,
at the end of the day, you're a woman.
Yeah.
And so those things that you were holding in, it was tormenting you.
Tormenting me.
How does that relate to secrets, though?
It relates to secrets that some things you just don't tell. Growing
don't talk
up
about.
in the church, you don't talk about that your father molested you. You don't talk about that, all of the secrets and the different children and all these things that is going on in the church. Abuse, child abuse, sexual abuse, all of these things are going on in the church.
In the church.
Yes.
And you've experienced
it. I've experienced it from a young child, from 12 years old, from my own pastor father.
Pastor father?
Yeah. Pastor father.
I like that, pastor father.
My own pastor father.
That's torment.
Oh, yeah.
That's torment, to hold that in. And then what you're saying, you got to suppress it. You got to act like it didn't happen. But then you got to take the mic and you got to hoop and you got to holler and you got to and you got to and you got to because nobody can see it. Yeah. How much are we hiding behind
So much.
So much.
We're hiding so much that, it only takes God and a relationship for us to be able to get past that. But in public, you have to put on a smile.
You got to put on a smile.
Everything is perfect in the church. Everything is great in the church. You'll be okay if you just pray. You'll be okay if you just have a little bit more faith. But the torment that the people are going through, you really have to have a shepherd to be able to see that hurt and see that pain and see that perversion that's going on. And it's hard to just talk about it because they will shut you down.
Oh, I ain't going to shut you down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's going to kill us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I want you to take it from a perspective that you might not know about, but I want us to think about it.
Okay.
Because that was your father.
Yeah.
Who pervertedly touched you.
Yes.
How do you, I can't even imagine how we can do that in private and still go up before the pulpit and act like we haven't done any of that, particularly with our daughter. I'm trying to really, really get the psyche behind it, or the torment behind that, of how you think he may have really felt knowing that he did that, but yet he still had to get up and represent God. Let's just imagine.
The comment that I got from my pastor father.
From your pastor father.
When I'm in the pulpit, I'm used by God.
Oh.
But when I get out, I'm just
a man.
And the sooner you understand that, the better off your relationships would be.
Wow.
Now, what kind of shit is that to tell your daughter?
Secrets hidden in torment that he's still justifying because of enslavement.
Yes.
Things that happened, how their mind was trained, how their mind was developed, through victimization and paying themselves. And we bring that, and I talked about that in the earlier episodes, how we bring that mentality, bring that perversion, bring it over there, and we justify it in our mind that, yes, you are just a man, but at the end of the day, now you're being used by God.
Yeah.
Hey, you all, I know you all have been tuning in and listening to the Healing for My Soul podcast, but let me tell you, there's more. There is no way that we can just come on here and open ourselves up and allow you to be opened up. And I know some things is going on the inside. Why? Because the comments are there. I'm hearing people say it. Matter of fact, some of you all I get calls from because healing is a lifestyle. So guess what I have for you? It's called our House of Healing. Yeah, House of Healing. That means you can steal away 2 days, 3 nights, 2 nights, 3 days, however that look for you, whatever, and get some in-depth healing in a private setting with me, Pastor Dee. Yeah, we want to minister to your soul. I want you to see yourself as worth the investment to get what you need, and you can get it for 20-something hours a day. Ask your questions, join with a group of women. Let me spend time with you. Let me feed you. Let me minister to your heart. Let me hear your heart. Let me give you some coaching sessions, some strategies, things that you need to heal in the depths of your soul. So if you say, hey, that's me, go to that website, www.healingformysoulpodcast.com. That's healingformysoulpodcast.com, and you will get more information. And guess what? I'm looking forward to seeing you there at the House of Healing. Do you know every God is not our God?
Absolutely.
The true and living God?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. I just want to put that out there.
It was his God. It wasn't the God that you introduced me to.
What
So
you mean?
that's the hard part, that this man, your father, introduced you to this true and living God. As a youngster, and you went to Bible study, you read your word, you were a good teacher in Sunday school. But how can this same father, violate you? So it had to be the enemy.
It was the enemy.
Okay?
It was the enemy.
But still, what do you do as a 12-year-old?
Yeah.
Where you're trying to
it's
understand.
not justifiable, because that's why healing of the soul is so important. Not just for women, but for men.
Yes.
And it's a whole lot of it. It ain't just got to be your daughter. It's the teenagers. It's the women who want to be like the wife. Or it's just all crazy.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it's secrets hidden in torment that's steadily perpetuating.
Yes.
I want to talk about the healing aspect of it, because even during those course of years, how did you handle the hurt? How did you handle that hurt? Or did you suppress it? I mean, maybe that's a way of handling it.
The way of handling it, first of all, was just praying, because I'd been taught that from my mom, and just dealing with it. And then I became, in a sense, an abuser of men. Because trust was broken, because I absolutely adored my father. But after that, your world is like an alternative.
So you become
reality.
Dominant.
Yes.
You become dominant and misuser of men.
Absolutely. It's what I became.
Because you're going to do what I want you to do.
Exactly.
And how I want you to do it.
And if you make me feel any of that I felt at 12 years old, you got to go.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real talk.
Yes.
As we say, that's some real shit.
That's some real.
That's real. But we don't talk about that.
We don't.
And healing is needed. What's the first step we got to do to even heal from that aspect? Heal from that domain of such a deep, deep secret that is now being exposed, but we got to bring it to a place of wholeness.
Well, for me, I had to talk about it. And I was 32, so 20 years later was the first time that I actually voiced it to anyone. And so talking about it, realizing that it was not my fault.
It
I
was
was
not
a
your fault.
child. So it was not my fault. And then just understanding that I had some deep, deep-seated healing that needed to be done because I would shut you down in a minute.
Yeah.
I would put up a wall in a heartbeat.
How does this help you? You're a pastor.
Yeah.
Great Faith International Church.
Yes.
In Durham, North Carolina.
Yeah.
If you are anywhere in that area, close, remotely, you need to run, because it is really about great faith.
Yes.
I believe that what the name God give us for the ministry, we have become it and got to steadily become it.
Absolutely. It has to be proven.
It has to be proven.
You're going to prove that great faith name. And we have had to be tested in that.
How have you been tested?
Oh. more molestation happening, addressing it, the founding pastor dying, cancer, all types of things that has happened in that. My own cancer diagnosis, but God blocked it through that great faith.
Through that great faith.
My great faith that I believe that God could not do that again, with a pastor. So, just being able to stand in it and stand on the word of God.
Let's talk about it, because this is what I believe. I don't have anything, no stats to substantiate it. But I believe a lot of the illnesses that we're experiencing, particularly in the church, and I will tell you why I believe it, is because of the secrets that are hidden in torment. Yes. The shit that we are suppressing. And it's coming out physically and medically after the years and the years and the years. Do you believe that?
I believe it 100%. I mean, I will even tell you this story. Just this past 6 months ago or so, we were doing another type of healing class that I was in about the mind. And I realized that I had never forgiven my father. I had acid reflux. I had all these things, and it came from the stress of holding on to unforgiveness. I thought I was over it.
You thought you were over
it. I thought I was done. I thought I'd forgiven him, but I truly hadn't until 6 months ago.
And I think that's someone asked me, how do you get over it? Or they say, let go and let God. I think that's a fluke in certain cases. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Because we got to really, really go through it. We got to see the shit. We got to see the stuff. We got to face the stuff. We got to face the secrecy, not only of what somebody done to us, but what we've done to ourselves. Because at the end of the day, it's nobody's fault.
Absolutely.
It's nobody's fault.
Got to get out of denial.
You got to.
And I ain't talking about the one in Egypt.
You're talking about the DENIAL. Huh?
Yes,
Come out of denial. Come out of denial. I'm reminded of the reason why I said that, because even in Psalms 139, David had even said, when he was talking about the truth is in my inward parts, And so he was also saying, my God, my reins, REINS. And reins means your kidneys. And your kidneys is where you hold in the toxics, the deepest part of your emotions. And so for us, even as Black women, we are in the highest chart of kidney failure. Yes. See, I love to take life and apply it to the word, and not just take the word and just go live a life. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes,
and so that's why he had to be truthful. He said, if I make my bed in heaven, there you are. If I make my bed in hell, there you are. I can't hold this stuff in. Even when David went with Bathsheba, he said, only have I sinned against me and me alone. Does that make sense? Yeah. We got to be truthful that these secrets is killing us, because all this stuff is harboring in our bodies. The toxics of it, after generation, after generation, after generation, after generation. You think it just started with you. It didn't.
No.
How did you realize that it did not start with you? Hey, you all, have you gotten a copy of the book, Sexual Healing for the Woman in You, written by the one and only? Well, you don't want to miss this opportunity to read it, to get some more insight about who you are as the woman and what you need for sexual healing, sexual awakening, your sensuality. Go to www.healingformysoulpodcast.com and you can obtain it right there. All right? Now, let's get back to this episode, because we got some real talk for you.
That's my mom and her going through her illness and her sickness because of what she was dealing with in her marriage. When they were in their 1920s and 30s and 40s, they lived differently than we did. They took it on.
I was talking about that. They
didn't talk about it.
They didn't talk about it.
But you can tell in her body when she was got really, really ill. And that was a chance for him to turn his life around a little bit, but all of it wasn't gone out of him. But from her prayers, her dedication, that's how I learned.
So often, and this is what I know, and that's not going to happen, but in the Black church, instead of it being secrets hidden in torment, we want to submit to the things that are hidden in torment.
Yeah.
They want us to submit to that shit. I'm so serious. Yeah. I'm so freaking serious.
Be quiet.
Be quiet. Let me do what I'm going to do. You just do you, and you just serve me, and you shut your mouth, and you bend over when I say bend over, because I am the husband. I am the man. OMG.
Yes.
Don't worry about what I'm doing. If you're going to tell me in the black church that ain't a slave master's mentality, they have perpetuated the shit. Matter of fact, Willie Lynch said it in the letter. He said, if you do this for 1 year, it will last up to more than 300 years. Yep. All you got to do is train them folks.
Yep.
And we still seeing it, but we want to be blinded to it because we like it. We like the perversion. We like the distortion. And I just can't understand.
The control.
We like the control. And I come to break the curse. I come to change the whole trajectory.
Absolutely.
I come to set the captives free. I come to set us as black women free, that I'm not going to lose myself to bend over when you say bend over. And I'm supposed to shut up.
Yeah. Yeah. Because of that little part they heard where Paul said, go talk to your husband. Just be quiet. That little part.
It's all misconstrued.
Yeah. Oh,
I hope somebody get stirred up about what I'm saying, because it's time for the stuff to come up. Does that make sense?
Yes, it is.
I'm not going to lose myself because you're the man, and because you got a penis, I'm supposed to just do whatever and however, and supposed to shut my mouth. Yeah. Even when you're talking to Sally, going over there, I'm supposed to still cook your dinner. I'm supposed to do this, and I ain't supposed to say nothing. Yeah. They got the right one. Miss me today and tomorrow.
And miss me 3.
Now that's why you here.
Ask Mr. Whitfield.
It's time to be free.
Yes, free.
Respect and love one another as we're supposed to do. Everybody got secrets, but we're just transferring it over to this one and to that one, and the condemnation and the guilt that come with it. OMG.
Yes.
That'll kill you alone.
That condemnation will kill you.
Trying
to fit in will kill you.
Our black men are the highest on charts for stats of heart failure, because they hold it in so much of their lies, and which lies are secrets. Secrets are lies. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So they hold it in, and they think that stuff ain't gonna catch up with them. We got to be free. Ain't nobody judging one another. It's not. Y'all put it. Y'all put in the comment. Put in the comment. It's nobody's fault. Nobody. It's not my fault. It's nobody's fault. We got the power to break it, to not expose it, to put somebody down, but to say, I'm not holding these secrets in no more. I'm not going to be in torment no more. You know, my husband asked me, are you cheating? What the hell? What that look like? What that mean? That I'm going to just go out here and do something, and I'm going to come up before the people, because that's what they're accustomed to.
That's what they're accustomed to. Do as I say, not as
and
you
do
see
as
me
you
do.
And do. They think everybody is doing that because it's been such a rap of what pastors do.
Yes. Yes.
Healing don't even think that way.
Absolutely.
Healing don't even focus on that type of stuff.
That's why emotional healing is so important.
I'm sorry, I started preaching. Go ahead on. Go ahead, you a guest. You came all the way from North
and
Carolina. Go ahead on.
To continue with emotional healing, because we don't know we did it until we're in it. We think we're good.
Why they won't come? Why so many of them are holding these secrets as a pastor? What are they? What is? I know it's denial, but why are we so afraid?
The people might leave. Or I might not be important anymore. They may look at me and I'm ashamed of what I'm going through, what I'm going through.
So it's really a shame.
It's a shame.
It's the shame. Where did we miss the part when Isaiah prophesied and said, I'll give you double for your shame?
They ain't read that over there in the Old Testament.
The only thing they read was, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And we don't even complete that. No weapon formed against you shall prosper.
Absolutely.
We don't even know the rest of it. Does that make sense?
I only believe what's in red with Jesus.
But he said, I'll give you double for your shame. I wanted to turn your ashes into beauty. Absolutely. But we can't do that with the secrets that's hidden in the torment, and the enemy is thriving off of secrets. Can you see it? And it's going from generation to generation to generation to generation. Perversion. Give us your definition.
Unhealed mind.
An unhealed mind.
An unhealed mind. Mm-hmm. And it's just perversion is anything that's against what is the nature of God or of yourself.
And who he made you to be.
And who he made us to be, exactly.
It's a distortion.
Yeah.
My mind has been
Distorted.
twisted. And if it's twisted, it becomes wicked. Twisted thinking is wicked thinking.
Yes.
And because our mind is all entangled with so much stuff, and the enemy want to deceive us to make us believe that we're good when we're not good. And it's just following. Do you really believe in the miraculous power of God?
I
Pastor
absolutely do. I absolutely believe in the miraculous power of God, because I'm sitting here today. I'm sitting here because there was a time in my torment that I took a handful of pills and a Fanta orange soda, and I was going to end the torment. And as sure as we're sitting here, the Lord spoke to me and said, no, daughter, your soul is not yours to take.
Your soul is not yours to take.
And I just had to lay down and worship before the Lord. And that was my beginning, really, of breaking.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I know you are listening to this episode on YouTube, but there are so many podcasters that are listening on Apple and Spotify. And so what I want you to do is make sure you go over there and write a really good review. I want to hear, what are you getting out of these episodes? We read them, we see them, we comment. So make sure you go over to Apple and Spotify and leave a review for us so that we can be able to hear your heart and where you are. Now, let's get back to the episode.
It hurts my heart to hear, and we don't talk about it,
Yeah.
but it's very real, how many pastors commit suicide.
Yeah.
Preachers of the gospel, standing up before God's people, and they're tormented themselves.
Yes.
Tormented with the depression, tormented with the guilt, tormented with the perversion,
Yes.
tormented with their own indiscretions,
Yes.
not forgiving themselves, not getting
Absolutely.
healing. If you don't get healing, it's going to cause you some great torment.
Yes.
Healing is liberating.
Yes, it is.
Healing is, I can't describe it no other way. It's like being constipated. And you go to the bathroom and you just get that, healing.
Yes.
It just, the shit just
That's
flow.
why when it flow, ain't nothing like it flowing.
Flow.
Because any other way, you're backed up.
You're backed up. You're heavy,
poisoning
you're
yourself.
bloated, you're
Yes,
toxic.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm so serious.
I am too.
It's just, but do you know it could kill you?
Yes.
Even if you don't defecate, it could kill you.
Yes.
If you hold that stuff in, it can kill you.
Yes.
If you hold these secrets in, it can kill you.
Yes.
This is the problem with the black church, because
As
we
it
hold it
is.
in, mama and grandmama and great-great-grandmama and great-great-great-great-grandmama, because I'm still trying to keep the reputation of those who
Yes.
are dead.
Now, that was a mouthful. A mouthful of truth.
It is.
But I said, this Mom and them church. Mom and them church been here for 40 years. Mom and them church, we did it this way. This the only way we gonna do it. And people are in there dying.
They're in there dying. Stuck.
Yeah.
Stuck. Ain't nobody gonna tell me it's not a demonic spirit. Ain't nobody gonna tell me. I should say, instead of secrets, I should say spirits
Yeah.
that are hiding
Yeah.
and tormenting you.
Yes.
That's really what it is.
That's really what it is.
And we got to be free. Dunamis is the miraculous power of God.
Yes.
I make no mistake about it. I come to cast out devils. I come to heal the sick. I come to set the captives free. I come, as Jesus said in Luke 4, when he made his first message and he preached it, he said, to mend the brokenhearted.
Yes.
What are we doing if we're not seeing it? And we are a people, we got so much God has for us.
Absolutely.
But we cannot hold this stuff in, because Satan is the father of lies. And where we think the church is perpetuating the God, we're perpetuating darkness.
Absolutely.
Where we think we're magnifying and we're representing the light, we're actually representing darkness. Because secrets is darkness, and it's tormenting.
Yes.
And I'm tired of it tormenting the black man, the black woman, and our children.
And our children.
So many of them don't even know who they are, because we just taking stuff to the grave.
Absolutely.
And I have an aunt who refuse. And she's 90-something years old, to tell her daughter who her father really is.
Yeah.
I believe with all my heart that secret and a lot of other ones is causing dementia, what she's suffering with. I believe if she just released it.
Yeah.
And her daughter is older than me. But she refused. Ain't no way in the hell you don't forget who you screwed.
Yeah.
Though you might not know the name, because I'd have been somewhere smoking. I don't even know their name. What's your name?
Not the name or the numbers.
no. What's your name? But I know what I did.
Absolutely.
I know how it happened.
Yes.
I know what went down. I went to a bar. We did this. I ain't know his name. I could tell you some stuff. We got to start talking about it because the truth will set you free. If you're a black woman, let's start getting these secrets out. If you're a mother, sit down with your children.
Yes.
You might not know it all, but stop letting these secrets hidden in torment, especially as being the black church, not in the church, being the black church, hold us hostage. He has not given us the spirit of adoption, of bondage to fear anything. But he said, put on the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father, Father, Father. Tell him, talk about it.
Listen, we have to do that because first of all, the church is not the building that you go into to worship. It is you. It is your soul. It is where God has placed his spirit in. And our children are dying. Our children are being shut up because the church don't want them to talk about the traumas and the trauma and the things that they are going through in their life, in this world, in this dispensation of time. So they're confused about who they are. And this has got to stop by us talking to our children. Listen, this happened to me. This happened to me. That is not good. I'm not going to ever condemn you for that because shit happens. It happens to us, but not to make us shame, but to build us up and show us who God ordained us to be in this earth. You wouldn't be here if he didn't ordain you to be here with a purpose.
Yes, with a purpose.
So mamas, grandmamas, great-grandmamas, stop being shameful. Open up your mouth. Grab your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren, Big Mama, before you leave here.
Yeah.
Because some of these children are going to be lost because Big Mama is gone.
Yeah.
So Mama, learn from Grandma. And it's perversion out here. It's secrets hidden in torment. All of these things are going on in the body of Christ. And we've got to heal.
I firmly believe, Pastor Gail, thank you. You preached that thing. I told y'all, great faith, International Church, Durham, North Carolina. But I believe that the word says the sins of the father are passed down to the fourth generation. I believe a lot of the perversion, lack of identity, confusion of identity is where our daughters want to become sons and our sons want to become daughters. It's because of the perversion and the secrets that our foremothers and fathers held in. They don't even know what's happening to them. They think that that's their true identity. And the sin where they miss the mark and they're not talking about it and they hold it in has been passed down. But we come to change it and we come to break it. I am Pastor Dee. Thank you for joining us on this episode. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell someone to join this Healing for My Soul podcast because if you're a black woman or even a black man, healing is your bread. Love you all. See you on the next time.